Hello and welcome. I am Scarverlock, and this is City of Heroes on the Rebirth server. We are once again doing Iron Man mode, or continuing Iron Man mode, this time with a defender, a technology defender, who is a trick arrow and arrow blast, or whatever you call it. He's an arrow defender, trick arrow archery. And we're at level 1, and we're going to be a defender. And we'll see if we can do any better. Our previous characters in Iron Man mode have lasted to level 19, level 12, level 9, and level 10. And those were a Guardian, a Corruptor, Dominator, and a Blaster. The last two archetypes I haven't played at all on video are Controller and Defender. And then, of course, there's the epic archetypes like Peacebringer. I don't know that I'm going to do any of that. I think I'm going to complete this Iron Man run with the Defender and the Controller. So the Controller's going to be the last one I do. Save the worst for last because it's the archetype I like the absolute least. Mostly because it doesn't really have a good way to do any damage. But I've always really loved the archery stuff. It's very cool. I played a Trick Arrow Mastermind at one point, and I really liked the arrow part. And so we're going to be shooting arrows and also doing things like flashing enemies and stuff. Trick Arrow is pretty cool, and so we'll see how we do. We're going to talk to Officer Flint, and we're in the tutorial. So I'm not gonna do a lot of explaining how things work because we have done that many times before. So we're just going to go ahead and start the tutorial. So our last character died ignominiously to a boss. So far, our characters one character I think died to a lieutenant, right? The first one, the Guardian. And I think all the others have been killed by bosses. That's not such a bad way to be defeated. I do want to make a macro, right? The macro VS, which is Viz Scale 2.5. And we'll go ahead and put that over here and just trigger it so that we make sure that we get a larger visual scale than what the default is on this server. And where are we supposed to go? Oh, I have to talk to the terminal. See, I've done this so many times I'm getting ahead of myself, and I'm talking as well, so sorry about that. Waste a little bit of time, but there we go. If this were a normal character, I'd probably go through the tutorial without you guys watching, but remember, it's possible we could potentially, unlikely, but possible we could faceplant even in the tutorial, and so I try to make sure I've got all the, shall we say, evidence for you guys so that you know when we faceplant, it really is the first faceplant of the character, and I haven't like faceplanted off screen or anything like that. I also don't want to faceplant off screen and then not have the video of my ignominious defeat. So, as I said, we're winding down the end of this series. The last two archetypes here are Defender and Controller. And then I've basically, either as a regular video or as an Iron Man, I've done every character type. I think at that point, I'm ready to stop doing this. It's been fun, but I think after I've done with the Controller, I will have had enough of this mode of play, and then we will be stopping the City of Heroes Let's Plays, and I'm not sure what we'll do next, if anything. I've been saying that for like a year. Okay, so now we're gonna fight some thugs. So let's take a look at how this character is going to work. He has two abilities. One is to fire a flash arrow, and that flashes these guys so that they can't see anything, I guess. And then you shoot them. Now that flash is pretty good. I really like the ability to do that. And it's basically like a hold, I think. No, they're still able to shoot. Let's take a look at how this works. Foe minus visibility minus to hit, so it's debuffing him. It's not really a hold. But it makes it harder for them to hit, which is really nice. And it recharges pretty quickly, so we can debuff them pretty quickly. If we look at the details on this, at this point, I don't know if it even makes sense to think about slotting things because we never get to a high enough level to even get DOs. But it recharges in 15 seconds, and it lasts for a minute, minus 90% perception. So you really don't have to keep doing it. If it lasts for a minute, and it's a minus 6% to hit. And there's a fire character, pretty cool. introduce to a new contact, and that is going to be Sergeant Hicks, who will give us our first inspirations and our three slot tray, and then he's going to ask us to defeat some more guys. So yeah, this character in build, I think I've built it logically the way one builds like a scrapper, that is trying to even build, even slot both sides, both power sets. Cool visuals. Now we're gonna have to check this, but I think it's possible if they're not looking at you and you haven't aggroed them, and you you blind them. I think it basically makes it so that like you could stealth, and they won't even see you. I'm not sure it makes a lot of sense to test that here, but let's go ahead and do it. So let's try two things. First, I'm gonna walk toward them and see how they aggro. Yep. So that's sort of a normal aggro. Right, and then we're gonna lead from range with the blinding arrow, right? And we're gonna see how they aggro and if it's different. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna do it on the ground. There we go. So these guys here. So let's go ahead and blind and then run up. Yeah, see, they don't aggro to you, so it basically gives you stealth, which is pretty cool. And so my guess is if this guy has stealth combined with that blind arrow, he can probably be almost invisible. Okay, and now we're going to head to Coyote, who's going to tell us we need to go and help Flower Knight, who also has a bow and arrow, by the way. So we're going to be a pair of archers. And this entire section of the city, by the way, pretty much only exists to have a random spot have a mission door, right? Each player gets a different, randomly generated position, and there may be other people if it's a large number of people in the tutorial that have this door, but I think they were just trying to spread people out so that they weren't crowding the same door all the time. Right, see, this guy didn't aggro to me right away. The guy in the back, even though I attacked his buddy because I missed the buddy. Now, outside the tutorial, it's definitely worth firing this again because it should stack. But I definitely really like the visuals of the archer and the way the arrows work and stuff. Very cool. And I definitely like this. It's fairly, it's not new, but I feel like it's new because, a long time ago they didn't have stuff on the back. Then they only had capes. But the fact that you can like actually have an archery, like a quiver on your back, and they had several different variants, so I was able to pick the one I really wanted. Very cool. All right, Flower Knight, let's go get your bow and come shoot with me. Missed. And we double shot him. Excellent. It would be nice if you could like color the shaft and the fletching of your arrows. So we got the formula, now we just had to defeat all the thugs. It's really nice that lasts a long time and the initial shot doesn't aggro anybody, which gives you a chance if you have a couple of different arrow, debuffers, you can fire that one and then fire the next one, and now they're under 2 debuffs. which is quite nice. Oh, I don't want this on 9. Hang on. I want on 7, no, 8. And then this goes here. Sorry, guys. I'm just kind of sort of trying to arrange things the way I like them. Okay, so we're going to go back to Coyote. One of the flaws in this tutorial is if you don't know to do that, like to open and click on him, you forget where he is, if you don't know how to use the map or whatever, as a new player, it should have automatically flagged him for you, or at least brought up a pop-up telling you here's how to use your map and find your contacts. So we're level 2 already, which is great. Now this guy is Iron Man mode, so remember, if we faceplant in any mission or on the street, we're done. We can't leave a mission to get inspirations. The only way we could potentially survive to do a respawn is if we are leveled up inside a mission. If we have leveled up in the mission, we get one chance to res. Let's level up with Ms. Liberty. So aimed shot is just another fire or glue arrow. That's nice. Slows movement and attack rate. Jump speed, etc. This is entangle, so this holds them. I think I'm going to go with aim shot right now. I want to do some damage. And now that I have those two, I'm going to grab at least 2 more of these debuffing powers. In the enhancements, we have all these silly things from, I guess it's Going Rogue or something, where they give you these enhancements that you can put. I'm just going to get, oh, well, those I could have sold those, but whatever, doesn't matter. All right, we're now going to talk to Michael Habashi, and we also, there was one other thing I wanted to do. Oh, we got to say we want bosses. Yep. All right, Michael, let's go help the people who, let's go take out the Hellions, but before we do that, we want to tell the Hero Corps guy that we want bosses. That's not him. Which guy is it? This guy. We got ourselves a badge, which is nice. Yes, we want to fight bosses. That looks good. That's what I wanted to do. So, in our email for account items, there should be, we have merits, that's nice, we'll claim that, and we'll claim that, and we'll claim that, but what I really want is return to battle. Right, so that will allow us to res in a mission if we have died after we have leveled up in that mission, which is the only time we're allowed to punch that res button. And then the other one I wanted to grab was the mission teleporter. And we may as well grab Nemesis Staff. I actually like that a lot better than the Black Wand. So we grab the Nemesis Staff and the mission teleporter. There was another mission teleporter, I thought. That one does 5 charges, but there was one that is infinite, no? So let's get rid of some of these Taylor tokens to make space. I thought there was another mission teleporter here, but I guess not. Alright guys, let's go ahead and fight the Hellions and I'll clean all this stuff up later. So where's the mission teleporter here? Nemesis Staff. There's the mission teleporter. Okay. So now we have to fight Hellions. And there's some right here. Blind him. That is nice. And these recharge pretty quickly, which is good. Yeah, we're just shy of being able to... how they faded away? That is really weird. It shouldn't be doing that. And then he came back. This is so strange. Did it do that to the player character too? Yeah, look, it faded away off my screen. Or did she log out? No. Right? And then I come over here, and it just deselects and disappears. That's just very strange. Does it do this to this NPC? No. I don't know what's going on. It's almost like there are these mini zones within Atlas Park that when you go from one to the other, the guys that were in the mini zone disappear. If you go back and watch, the same thing happened when I was like hunting Vajalox with my previous character. So now we're going to go speak with Officer Nelson. He's trying to kick the fire out. That police officer. Okay, so go and rescue civilians from Prometheus Park. So what I was gonna say teleport. What movement ability? I think this guy might be super speed. Let's do some extra damage. There we go. That rescues one guy. Yeah, I think super speed might work for this guy. And hasten as well might be good. I don't know if he's going to need hasten. We'll have to look at how the recharge works on his abilities. But I definitely like the idea of super speed. For a defender, he's putting out pretty good damage. I like it. This is a cool power set. Excellent. Now we have to go to the Hellions base. I think this guy needs stealth. Like, as a tech guy, I could see stealth, which I think combined with this blindness is going to be amazing. And in terms of being able to like avoid aggro and stuff. And I think we're going to want super speed. I think both of those things sound conceptually good for him. Now, whether we're going to live long enough to get any of that, I don't know. Defenders, historically, they're slow to defeat enemies and get through missions, but they tend to do okay solo because they do have ways to debuff enemies and buff themselves. A lot of defender powers, if they're not area effect, that work on allies do not work on themselves. But I feel like Trick Arrow is mostly debuffing rather than buffing, right? Ice Arrow, Poison and Gas, Acid Disruption, these are all like debuffing enemies. So all of his powers should work on for this character. In other words, there shouldn't be any powers that it's like, oh, we can't take it because it wouldn't work on us because we don't have an ally, you know. That thing's going to work no matter what, and they're blinded. Right? And oil slick and stuff like that's going to work regardless. And entangle is going to work regardless. And this one recharges pretty quickly. I like it. What I'm seeing so far of these powers is actually there's probably no reason for hasten. Because I've almost got a completely closed attack chain just with his first 3 powers. And these guys respawn too fast. But we'll level up, so that's nice. Get away from that spawn point. Look at this, I still didn't get away from the spawn point. Let's click that and get the clue. Let him come a little closer, so yep, multiple guys get hit with the blinding arrow. It definitely shouldn't respawn as fast as it does. I wonder if there's like some sort of a bug, because I don't remember. I mean, they respawn quickly, but I don't remember them respawning that fast. Where like you defeat a spawn, you move to the next spawn, and right behind you the other one is just regenerate that fast? I don't think so. I'm just gonna run past these guys, and out we go. So we're 3rd level. And by the way, that does not count as an instance. So if we die in there, we're dead, right? Because it's not a true instance private mission. Okay, so we are 3rd level. We get some slots. I'm not sure that the flash arrow needs anything right now. It works pretty well. So, we need to find a Hellion informant, but first, let's sell these guys. We still don't even have 1,000 influence. New 1st level characters. 3rd level characters. Okay, so, if we look at this. Come here. 90% radius perception decrease. I don't even think you can enhance that. And then there's a to-hit debuff. You can enhance that. I don't know if you can. I guess you can up the duration. I mean, I think obviously. I don't even. Is there an accuracy? There is. So we're going to want to increase the accuracy. We might want to. I don't know that we need to enhance the recharge time because it already stacks. I think maybe at some point we need another slot, but for right now, I'm going to put slots in the attack powers. And now we have to go and find a Hellion informant who has the plans and defeat them. So we want to find informants who have the map to the base of the Hellions, I think. I can't remember now. How far are we into this episode? Alright, so we'll do this next couple missions and then we will stop. Because I think this one leads to directly to another one. And they're pretty quick. Yeah. And we now know where their warehouse is. So this is where we can blind these guys and then run right past them. And they don't even aggro, which is really nice. That's a sweet power, I like it. So now we're pretending to be Hellion. And we also now have 8 enhancement slots. That's really good. We're moving right along. And we, right in front of them, look up the ritual. They don't seem to care. They think we're one of them. I guess that activity is not suspicious to them. And out we go. And once again, blind. Right, and that just... I mean, I couldn't blind everybody, but that helps you get past these jerks. And we call Habashi. And let's do the finale. Go and stop the ritual. I always think about, like, when I run up the side of a culvert like that. Like, imagine if you saw somebody actually running up there in real life. That would be hilarious. I don't think you see that very often. Alright, so are we going to get to 4th level now? We're going to stay 3rd level this episode. We'll hit 4th level next episode, I guess. Missed. Good deal. Oh, there's another guy down there. So we're in a burning building and they are conducting a ritual. And anything for this guy that increases defense is going to be better than increasing resistance because the blinding power debuffs them, right? It drops them, they're to hit by 7 or something. And so if you have like 7 defense and they have 7 debuff to hit, that's like having 14% less chance to hit you. 14 less percentage points, right? Their base is 50, which would then drop them to 36% to hit. And there's a boss. We asked for bosses. Do extra damage. We're going to blind him. One thing these guys don't have as defenders is some sort of a self-heal. I don't think there's any healing at all in this set. In fact, I'm certain there isn't. But it's pretty cool, and as you can see, we did just fine. Taking out a boss at level 3, guys. That's what I like to see. So we're not going to listen to all this. Matthew Habashi's wife is still alive, and we can tell him so. So that completes the first sort of story arc of the low-level game. We're approaching level 4 with our Trick Arrow Archery Defender. And we have leveled up. We have to randomly roll for this, right? 1 to 3, 4 to 6. What do we get? 1. Officer Fields. There we go. I think he sends us up against Vajalox, so that could be a lot of trouble. However, if we blind the Vajalock because their aggro is so messed, they're so like stupid anyway, and sometimes they don't notice you, we might be able to do really easy pulling with the Vaj. And this is lethal damage, and they don't have resistance to that. So we may actually be okay against them. This particular power set has abilities in it that work really well for fighting Vajalock. Both the damage you do in the secondary and in the primary, the kind of debuffing that you do, I think will stack really well with the Vajalock's clumsiness and stupidity. Their aggro radius is already lower than that of most other mobs, and you'll reduce it even lower. I do think this character, we might want to put some range modifiers on it if we survive into the SOs, but for right now, we're getting a new ability. Do we want to get our movement power? I don't think we need the movement power yet. Slows movement and attack rate. Let's get Glue Arrow. Right, it's an area effect. We can blind them and glue them, and then they'll be like slowly coming towards us. So that should work pretty well. All right, folks, we're level 4. We've survived to this point. Let's see if we can beat level 9, which is our lowest or weakest performance. Surprisingly enough, in the Dominator, which is one of my better classes that I'm comfortable with. But I think we're doing okay with this character. We'll see how far we get with our Defender. Until next time, I am Scrapperlock, and this has been Iron Man Mode on the Rebirth server.